Well, the first tomatoes of the season for me are the ones that I'm growing inside the house. You can see them down there. They're starting to ripen up. That's Sunny right there watching me. I got 3 of them right there. So I'm excited about that at least. Oh, and also my peppers are putting on fruit. Hey everybody, welcome to Saving Greens Homestead. My name is Keisha, and if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I welcome you. If I sound more energetic and more cheerful right now, it's because I have had a lot of rest in the past couple of days. On June 30th, well, let me go back. June 28th was the last day of the garden tours, and it was also the grand opening of the community garden. And so I have been very busy. As you saw in the previous videos, I have been very, very busy for the last 2 months trying to get all these things done. And on the 28th, that was the last date that I had for anything up until August, when I send my daughter off to college. So, but that was the last of the events that I needed to plan and organize. So now back to June 30th. June 30th was my birthday. And everybody kept asking me, what are you going to do for your birthday? Well, all I wanted to do is just relax. After those 2 months of doing a whole bunch of stuff, I just wanted to sit back and relax and do nothing all day and just watch YouTube, watch a movie or something, and just not lift a finger. And so today is July the 1st, and for most of today I rested. It's now in the evening, early evening, and so I came out here to try and do some stuff in my garden, and I thought I'd bring you guys along. But I had the greatest birthday. The only thing I did was go to breakfast that morning, and that was because my husband insisted. He wanted to take me to breakfast for my birthday, so I said okay. And he, along with my kids, we all had a good time having breakfast together. With 2 of my kids, not all of them, just the 2 that are living here still. So it was a great day of doing nothing. That's exactly what I wanted. But now I'm gonna be out here doing some work in this garden, because now I have a lot more time to do it. So I am going to get this last bed finished. I just wanted to show you guys all these beautiful sunflowers that volunteered in this garden. I tell you what, this garden, these sunflowers is what made this garden so special to me this year, because I wasn't able to do all the things that I wanted to do in this garden, and just having these growing up in this garden like this was a lifesaver for me, because I could come out here and admire all of these sunflowers. And look how tall these got. I'm 5'7", and I'm like, I wish I could show you guys. I wish Daniel was here so he could stand next to it so you can get a really good idea of how tall these are. I showed you how big that stalk is on that one, but these are doing really, really good now that I got the water worked out on them and everything. So, but I was bringing you here. Look at this guy. Look how cute. Look how adorable you are, Sonny. You're just so adorable. You gonna come give us some kitty lovins? Yeah? Okay. Oh, yes. Aw. This is such a sweet baby. Yes. But what I really wanted to show you guys that I'm going to be working on is this bed. So I'm gonna be out here cutting down some of these sunflowers that are already spent. And then I'm gonna get started cutting, pulling everything out of this bed here so that I can get my last bag of soil put in there and plant some more tomatoes. I still have time for some tomatoes to grow, so I'm gonna hurry up and get them in there. And I have to transplant my peppers. And then also I have to transplant these gourds. So I guess when I get around to that, I'll show you some of that. But let me get started because I'm getting a late start out here. And I just want to get this bed cleared and hopefully get it set up. And then I can just plant everything in there tomorrow, if not tonight. I don't think I gave you guys the update on these plants that I had put the sand in to keep them from dying from dampening off. And I put the sand, some of them were already weak and falling over, especially in this tray. Some of them were already weak and falling over and stuff. And you can see, like, this one here. Let me see. So it's this one. But he was already dying and weakened on his stem from the damping off, and he survived. I've been selling a lot of these plants, so that's why it's hard for me to show you the update now, but you can see the ones that survived, all of them survived mostly. I think this one didn't survive. Let's see, there's a few that are empty that didn't survive, but a whole lot less than what I would have suffered if I had not used the sand to protect them. So, and like I said, I have been selling a lot of these off. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick update on that and how well these are doing, growing up with the sand in them, which helps stave off damping off. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google it. It's just a fungus attack on the plants that kills them. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys it works. So if you have that issue, use sand. Here are my apples. It's not that many this year. There's only a few, but like that. I think the birds got to that one already before he dropped. There's one on the ground down here that dropped already that I didn't get to in time. My apples are starting to fall off my tree, so I pulled these off before they fell. This one had already fallen onto the ground, but I got him before anybody else got to him, I guess. Look at my furry tomato plant. This one is a woolly cape. It's doing good too. It's putting out flowers. Hopefully it'll soon put on fruit. And then check this out, you guys. My spiky porcupine tomato. All them thorns on there. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens when it starts putting on flowers. And then look at this Gandalf, variegated. All those light spots on the leaves is on purpose. I can't wait to see the fruit on that one. All of these tomatoes that I just planted are doing good. Those are the two beds I decided to leave open, empty, because of the roots growing up in it. But these tomato plants, as soon as I put them in, they just took off. Oh, I like that. Sunny. you always gotta torment them chickens? Huh? I know. That's why his nickname is Jerkface, because he just goes over there and he riles them all up. He likes to do that to the chickens. The chickens are still in panic mode. But I wanted to show you the rest of Tomato Row is doing good too. And there's some little basils that are growing in here from me scattering those seeds. I have little ones, little basils sprouting. Look at this. Got fruit coming on my tomatillo here. And then these guys are doing really good. And my ground cherry is doing good. And my other ground cherry is doing better. I had to replace, this is the second plant that I put in there. Oh my goodness. And now I see I had a water leak down there that I gotta address and fix. But these guys are doing good, and I have basils that are coming up in these beds too. Just from me scattering those seeds. I haven't put anything in this container yet, but I will soon. And this bed is doing good, except for the fact that the water connector popped off, and all this water is now down here on the ground. So I gotta fix that real quick. But Tomato Row is doing good. I have a lot of things that are climbing in this garden right now. This is wisteria that was growing on my patio cover, because there used to be a patio cover where you can see all of the dark wood lining around my house. There was all patio cover, and I had to take it down because of the wisteria. And we got most of it dug out, but this plant just keeps growing back. If you don't get every little bit of root out, it just keeps coming back. And with that being said, I have scarlet runner beans that are climbing on this side here. And the flowers is just adding a little pop of color over here amongst all this yellow. So that's nice. And then if you can kind of see, let me see if I can get you over here in the background here. The sunflowers are in the way. But I do have hyacinth growing on that middle trellis there. Let's see, maybe you can see it better this way. Oh, there we go. Hyacinth bean growing on that middle trellis. And then down here where Sunny is, my watermelon just took off and exploded in growth. And it's doing really good. It's not the only one that's doing good. I have others that are starting to take off and grow too. And then this tomato. Mind you, all these tomato plants all were started at the same time in my house. And they all have different rates of growth, because once I put them in the soil, they start to grow and take off. So this plant is way bigger than all of my other plants, even though they all were started at the same time. And just overall, I have more sunflowers that open. I am gonna plant this bed. I got it all cleaned out. I just gotta plant it now. I've got so much that's already growing up big. Look at those corn. That I'm just really excited. I didn't think this garden would amount to much of anything this season. But let me show you this other corn. These cherry tomatoes are doing good. And my cucumber is taking off. He's attacking and attaching himself to everything. But then again, so is this watermelon is starting to take off, and this one too. But I wanted to show you this corn over here. Look at this corn. Look how pretty. The stalks are purple, and the tops are purple. That is so pretty. And the corn is going to be white with purple kernels. White and purple kernels in it. So I'm excited to see how that's all going to look. And then this corn over here is doing really, really well. These tomatoes are all volunteer. I just noticed that hornworms is eating up this plant. I counted so far 5 on this one plant. There's that one. There's one right there. There's this little one here. There's another big one back up against that where that corn stalk is. And there's another one right here. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of them, and they're eating this plant up. I gotta pull them off, or I'm not gonna have a plant left. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. And as always, God bless. I don't think I ever gave you guys the update on how these plants that I had put the sand in. Oh my goodness! Come on! I'm trying to make a video.